actually have some new Horus action for you today. We're going to have Pendulum shenanigans, and is that Cyber Dragon along with some other interesting decks? Yes, it is. Age of Overlord really shakes things up. Make sure you guys smash the evolving crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So the first one we're going to be looking at here is the pile of Horus here, featuring the adventure package. Now, I didn't actually think that this would take off. I expected, there'd be some sort of people that would be trying out Horus decks, but this was really cool to see. So, we're playing 2 copies of the Aegis of Horus, 2 copies of the Blessings of Horus, 2 copies of the Vanguard of Horus, and triple copies of Insetti. So, pretty basic stuff here for this. Then we have 1 Illegal Knight with your triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joyspring. We got triple copies of Water Enchantress, triple copies of Maxi. Then we have 1 Draco back, 1 copy of Faithful Adventure, 2 copies of Rite of Artemisia, triple copies of the Pharaonic Sarcophagus, triple copies of Small World. We have 1 copy of Galaxy Cyclone with 1 copy of Metalfoes Fusion, which is just for the discard fodder. We have 2 copies of Called by the Grave, 1 Crossout Designator, triple copies of Canopic Protector, and triple copies of There Can Only Be One. Down the extract, we actually are playing the World Gears of Thermological Demiurgy. This card is actually pretty cute for this deck. I actually didn't consider playing this. We have 1 copy of SP Little Knight, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix with your 1 copy of Donner, 1 copy of Giant Trainer, 1 copy of Snaphold, 1 Hope Harbinger with the Photon, 1 copy of the Heretic Sun Dragon, 1 Dingdarisu, 1 Zeus, 1 copy of the T-Phone, and then we have the 7 Sins, 1 Pain Gainer, 1 copy of number 23 here, wrapping up your very interesting first take of this deck. I think this is actually pretty cool. Next up here, we have Pendulums, sporting off the Supreme King Gate Magician, which is, for what they added into the pull for this deck feels like it got a pretty amazing upgrade. And I think that's actually pretty good, all real things considered. Astrograph's still limited, but, that doesn't stop this deck from innovating. So, of course, we have 1 Astrograph Sorcerer, triple copies of the Supreme King Gate Magician, with the 1 Supreme King Darkworm, with, of course, Gate 0. And then the Lightworm. We have 2 copies of the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon with your triple copies of the Double Iris Magician. And then, of course, triple copies of Wisdom Eye. Got triple copies of the Harmonizing Magician. And then, of course, 2 copies of Black Fang, 2 copies of the Purple Poison. Triple copies of Squirrelcabat, 1 copy of the Pendulum Sorcerer, with the 1 Oath Dragon. And then we have 1 Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum. And then we have triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Duelist Alliance with your 2 copies of the White Winged Dragon. Then we have 1 copy of Star Pendulum Graph, 1 copy of Pendulum Evolution, 1 copy of Time Pendulum Graph, and then, of course, Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. And then, of course, we got Baron de Fleur, your Crystal Wing, your Starving Venom, your Odd Eyes Rebellion Xyz Dragon, your 1 copy of Zark, 1 Vortex Dragon with 2 copies of the Supreme King Starving Venom Dragon. Then, of course, we have Absolute Dragon, Hope Harbinger, of course, Time Star, and then Apollosi, the Exceed the Pendulum, Beyond the Pendulum. And 1 copy of Electromite here, wrapping up the value that is this deck. And, all real things considered, I love this deck. I think this deck is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of people out here trying a lot of the cool innovations for this, and, Starving Venomy here, going to be a fun little ride. Next up here, we have Cyber Dragons, sporting off T-Phone down here. Now, this deck doesn't get a lot of innovations, honestly. To be honest with you, you might see a little push for this deck every blue moon in the new innovation department, but it's still Cyber Dragons at the end of the day. You're still going to make, the best boards that you can. Try to make the best that you can. So we have 1 copy of Cyber Dragon. That's it. We really have just stripped down that much of the deck. We have triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core with the 1 copy of Hertz. We have the 1 copy of Naxter. Actually playing triple Cyber Dark Claw with the 1 copy of Chimera. And then we have triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyspring. Got the triple copies of Cyber Emergency, 2 copies of Power Bond. We also have 2 Lightning Storms, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Raigeki, 2 Called by the Grave with your 1 Crossout. Then, of course, we have the 1 copy of Cybernetic Horizon, the 1 Realm, the 1 Talents, the 1 Thrust, your 1 Pot of Prosperity, 2 Droplets, triple Imperm, and then, of course, a nice little red reboot here on the back end of things. Then we have T-Phone one Zeus with one Infinity with one Nova. We also have one Chaos Angel with one Sprint. We also have the one Azalea with the one Seeger. And then we have the Panzer Dragon, the Cyber Eternity Dragon, the Cyber End with the Cyber Twin. Then, of course, Rampage, the Mega Fleet, and Fortress Dragon. And then, of course, we have Nibiru, Ghost Ogi with the Ghost Bell, 2 copies of the Skullmeister, 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone with the one Droplet. We have one Herald of the Abyss. Oh boy. And then, of course, we have one Salesman, one Dark Hole, and one copy of the good old Overflow here. All right, well, that's that. All right, now let's get into the piles back here. This is going to be some grass looks greener shenanigans. I'm not going to lie to you. When you tend to look at these decks and the way that some of these pile decks end up working out, this Diabellstar is a cute little engine to kind of add into this. It adds a whole lot of extra flavor to these piles, and honestly, we can't really explore a lot of these engines, but trust me when I say this, these are fun. Fun, LOL. So we have one Agido with your one Drillsworn, one Magna with triple Saronir. We have the triple copies of Diabellstar with your 1, 2, 3 Fairy Tale Snow. We also have the Jet Synchron with the one Kelbeck, triple copies of Maxi with the one Deer Note. We have triple Foxy Tune with your triple copies of Ogre Dance, 2 copies of ZMN with the one Plague Spreader. We also have the one Shinobi Necro, the one Snake Eyes Excel, and then the one Snake Eyes Oark, the one copy of the White Birch, and one copy of the Flamberg Dragon. Then we have 2 Motorbike, 1 copy of the Soul Gaia Booster, 1 Lubellion, 1 copy of Dragon Dark with the one Dragonhawk, 2 copies of Dragon Roar with the 1 copy of Big Benki, triple Wakashi with your triple Allure, your 1 Brand Regained, 2 Called by the Grave, your 2 E-Tullies, your 1 Foolish Brew, your 1 Gold Sark, your 2 Grassless Screener, 1 copy of the Spoils, and then we have 2 copies of Talents, and 1 copy of the Hunter Fiend. Then we have the 1 copy of the Underworld Goddess, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Nightmare Phoenix with the 1 IP. Also have the 1 Dahark with your 1 Cross Sheep, your 1 Apollosi, the 1 Access Code with the 1 Zombie Vampire, the 1 Beatrice with the 1 Chaos Ruler, the 1 Dissipator, the 1 Baron, the 1 Excel, and the 1 Colossus. Then we have the 1 Shadal Dragon, the 1 Shekinaga with your triple Droplet, your 1 Feather Duster, your triple Fusion, of course 2 Thrust, triple Twin Twister, and 1 copy of Red Reboot here, wrapping up another little pile of things, kind of getting away with. Can't keep getting away with this out here, metagame, but all real things considered, this is the kind of stuff you actually enjoy seeing out here. Next up here, we have more, yes, we have more Horus shenanigans out here with Mill.Central. And, I will say, I heard people talking about this, but I didn't think we'd actually see it in play. So we have 1 Shayren, your 1 Havness with your 1 Merly, and your 1 Reno, kind of all limited to 1. We also have triple Tearlaments cached here with your triple King of the Swamp. We also have triple copies of Insetti, 1 copy of the Blessings. I also have 1 Happy and 1 copy of Aegis. Then we have the 1 Agido, the 1 Kelbeck with the 1 Mudora and the 1 Keldo. So the 1 Globe Bulb with your 1 Jet Synchron, 1 Fairy Tale Snow, triple copies of Diviner with your triple Maxi. Also got the 1 Polymerization, the 1 Foolish Burial, the 2 Foolish Burial Goods, the Terraforming, the Paralino, the triple Pharaonic Sarcophagus with the 1 Tearlaments Scream, and then of course Trivi Karma and 2 copies of the Solic. And then of course we have the 1 Grapha, 1 Guardian Chimera with the 1 Tearlaments Rukalos, the Kaleido Heart with the Mud Dragon, the Baron, of course the Archfiend Abyss, the Chaos Ruler, kind of love this card, it's so busted, Zombie Vampire with a Giant Trainer, the Redoer, the Abyss Dweller, the Zero Boros, the Apollosa, and the Cross Sheep. Then we have, of course, the 1 Driver, the 1 Gamma with the 2 Delta, triple Droll, your 1 Talents, 2 Called by, the 1 Heartbeat, the triple Imperm, and the 1 Red Reboot here, wrapping up the pile. And the last was we have for you here is, of course, some Rescue Ace shenanigans, sporting off Diabellstar good stuff. And the fact that this deck now gets access to a Rordon is disgusting. So we have triple copies of the Hydrant, your triple copies of Airlifter, 2 Preventer, and 2 copies of Turbulence with triple Ash Blossom. Have triple Maxi with your triple Diabellstar, your 1 Jet Synchron with your 1 copy of Olion. Then we have triple Emergency, triple Hunter Fiend, the 1 Snake Eye, the 1 Alert, your 1 Rescue with your 1 HQ, your 1 for 1, your Crossout Designator, your 1 Rhoda, your 1 Pot of Prosperity, and then, of course, 2 Called by the Grave with the 1 Contain, the 1 Extinguish, and the 1 Imperm. And then, of course, down the extra, you get the Doomsday Star, the 1 copy of Little Knight, Borreload Savage with the Herald, of course, the Excel Synchron, the Baron with the Dragster, and then we have the Appaloosa, the Access Code, the Unicorn, the Fenrir, or excuse me, the Auroradon, the Hida with the IP, the Anima, and of course Camellia down here, wrapping up the value that is the new innovations of the meta. And I will tell you, I'm very excited to see where things are going to continue to go from here. So what do you think about today's metagame? Is there anything that you really want to try out here? So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And you know, the innovations are probably some of the best that I've seen in a very long time. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.